From the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast, this is U.S. Farm Report.
Welcome to U.S. Farm Report this weekend. I'm Tyne Morgan, and here's what's in store over the next 60 minutes. How high can they go?
All signs still pointing that we are uptrending in this market here.
Cattle prices smash records again this week. As Trump takes office, immigration and mass deportation is in focus, and one California grower says there's a sense of nervousness similar to what it was like during the Obama administration.
That's where our employees live, and they come to not just my farm, but all the farms out here. And we would not be able to farm out here without these people.
It's been 40 years since the U.S. passed immigration reform.
I think there are so many people that are really struggling with having to use the H-2A program.
And growers argue that the system is broken and H-2A is becoming too expensive to use. And a final ride for a man who lived to serve.
He deserved every bit of that tribute. He didn't ever ask for it. I hope he's smiling down on us.
A John Deere technician for 30 years, how area farmers put together a fitting tractor tribute to say goodbye. And as we go to air, at last report on Friday, aides to President Trump were looking for ways to avoid sweeping 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. Speaking from the Oval Office on Thursday, Mr. Trump announced his administration was moving forward with a plan to start imposing those tariffs on Saturday. He cited concerns over trade deficits, illegal immigration, and the fentanyl crisis. He also reiterated plans to impose tariffs on China over its alleged role in fentanyl trafficking. The move triggered warnings of an economic fallout, and both Canada and Mexico vowed retaliatory measures. This story is continuing to develop, so make sure to check out the latest on agweb.com. More of President Trump's key cabinet nominees faced hearings this week. The Senate Finance Committee grilled Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was nominated to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kennedy's nomination has generated significant attention and controversy, primarily due to his past statements and positions on vaccine, abortion, and his potential impact on the food sector. Farm Journal's January Ag Economist's Monthly Monitor recently asking if Kennedy would be a positive for U.S. agriculture in the position as health secretary. 90% of those surveyed said no. However, some say Kennedy's push to make America healthy again could come with some benefits for segments of U.S. ag, including a push for food providers to use more animal fats versus seed oils. During his confirmation hearing, Kennedy tried to ease farmers' concerns about his stances against GMOs, additives, and pesticides.
American farms are the bedrock of our culture, of our politics, of our national security. I was a 4-H kid, and I spent my summer working on ranches. I went to work with our farmers. I want to work with our farmers and food producers to remove burdensome regulations and unleash American ingenuity.
Kennedy detailed his goals of trying to make America healthy again, saying it can be done through nutrition-based prevention, which could potentially shake up U.S. food production. And the Republican-controlled Senate confirmed Lee Zeldin to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. The vote there was 56-42 in Zeldin's favor. Zeldin, a former Republican congressman from New York, is a longtime ally of the president, but his past stance on ethanol has some in agriculture concerned. Well, just ahead of USDA's cattle inventory report released on Friday, for several days straight this week, cattle futures hit record highs. Market watchers say live cattle futures are trading at a discount to the Fed cash market, so that helped pull up the board, and it's hard to know where it projects prices to go to next, as we're in uncharted territory.
We've got a very positive basis, the cash leading the market here. We've got bull spreads working, the market's higher. So with that basis and everything, we've got all signs still pointing that we are uptrending in this market here.
And the latest cattle on feed report is adding some fuel, with marketings at 101%, while the on feed number was at 99% and placements at 96.7%. Both were below trade guesses. Well, as we first talked about in our markets segment last weekend on the show, there's concern right now about losses to the winter wheat crop following last week's extreme cold snap. The Arctic blast hitting several key growing areas that have limited snow cover to blanket the crop right now. Take a look at this snow depth map from NOAA, and you can see those areas where there's little to no snow, including top winter wheat producer Kansas, and then sub-freezing temperatures stretching from the northern to the southern U.S. last week caused some winter kill damage to both classes of winter wheat, especially areas that were lacking that snow cover. The damage is just being assessed as temperatures warm up and allow the crop to thaw out, but the full extent may not be known until later in the season.
At the height of the recent cold wave, 19th through the 21st of January, sub-zero temperatures were noted across the Great Plains as far south as the northern panhandle of Texas, and we saw widespread minus 20-degree readings or below across the northern plains.
Rippey says at the end of December, anywhere from a quarter to one-third of the winter wheat was rated poor to very poor, with Nebraska and South Dakota in the epic center of that northern plains drought. Well, drought is a concern in parts of the U.S. We'll have a check of the drought monitor with Jack Van Meter next.
U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Pioneer. With industry-leading genetics, Pioneer brand corn is bred to withstand your toughest challenges and deliver winning yield potential. Pioneer corn, your best year starts here.